Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another new edition of Today's Youth. And today we will be talking about the year 2016 being declared as the Year of the Youth. We will be talking more about this, and we will be meeting with two of the honor students of the Faculty of Mass Communication at Cairo University after this short break. January 2016, President Sisi announced year 2016 would be the year of Egyptian youth, in which they would be engaged in a number of projects, including the Knowledge Bank, that would empower them and strengthen their participation in public life. The state-run Knowledge Bank project aims to provide free access to online research resources that normally charge hefty subscription fees. Banks will offer around 200 billion Egyptian pounds, which should launch 350,000 companies that will offer job opportunities to more than 4 million people, Sisi said, promising to reduce interest rates to less than 5% on all loans given to youth initiatives. Welcome back, and with us here at the studio is Christine Skander and Minna Khalaf, and both are honor students from the Faculty of Mass Communication, Cairo University. Thank you very much for joining us, and I would like to start with you introducing yourself and tell me more about your honor degree.
All right. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Christine Skander. Graduate of 2016, Mass Communication, Cairo University English section, PR and Marketing Department. I was ranked first in class. Just after my graduation, I worked as a digital account executive in marketing agency.
Right.
In 2014, I worked as a researcher assistant in a Danish project conducted in collaboration between Aalborg University, Denmark, and Canada NGO Egypt. Also, in 2014, I traveled abroad and worked as a volunteer teaching English language for foreigner intermediate students. In 2015, I got an internship in G&A Mercedes-Benz for passenger cars. If I would describe myself in 3 words, I'd say passionate, persistent, promotion-oriented, and I have special interest in art, culture, and of course, marketing.
Right, I'll move to you, Minna.
Oh, okay, I'm Minna Khalaf. I graduated from Faculty of Mass Communication, English section, journalism department, and my average of this GPA was excellent, and I work now as a journalist at a Masrian newspaper.
Right.
I got an internship with the Danish Institute. I traveled to the Denmark to attend school this year, and I'm passionate about journalism.
Right. Christine, you were the first of your class, you've just mentioned, so so of course congratulations on that great achievement. I would like you to tell me what did you major inside the mass communication, under which, I mean, were you radio, television, or TV journalism, or what was your emphasis on?
Yes, I specialize in marketing and public relations, especially because it's, in my opinion, the most creative, and it empowers you to get out of the box and think freely. Also, it equips you with what it takes to start your own initiatives, your own business. And everything in our life needs marketing. Even our projects here in Egypt needs marketing. They are very good, and there is a lot of effort that is put in those projects, but they need marketing. So I think marketing will help me a lot in what I'm passionate for.
Right. And Minna, what was your major?
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah.
So, and what are you working now?
I'm working now as a journalist, and I believe that journalism is the mother of the media. I believe that print journalism is the credible source, the most credible source of the audience. So I'm passionate about journalism so much, and as I said, it's the mother of the media.
Right. I would like you to tell me, both of you, why did you choose that major in specific? I'll start with you, Christine.
All right. So as I said, marketing is a field of science that is that we received from abroad. So we have to be updated with the new updates of marketing communication. So marketing started with a focus on what we produce. So we have to sell and market what we produce. But nowadays, marketing starts with the consumer, how we can meet and satisfy consumers' needs and wants.
Right. Well, at the beginning of this year, President Sisi mentioned or declared this year as the year 2016 to be the year of the youth. Of course, we all know this. How do you see this, and how do you see the significance of this declaration?
Okay, I have a different point of view in this. The importance of these conferences and those conversations with the youth remains that the previous generation have some things that makes him engaged to this country. For example, the war, Israel, the victory, and so on. But though we have the revolution, but we still have this feeling of angry toward the regime. And I think that those conferences makes us engaged to the presidential,
you get more engaged in the political life in
we
Egypt.
feel that we can be heard. We feel that we are involved in building this,
country.
As Christine, my friend, I witnessed the bride she is when she attends such conferences. So I believe in the importance of those conferences.
And the point of views are brought together, and the borders are just removed, and you can have like a direct conversation with everybody around you.
And actually organizing those conferences is very important. Like I'm involved, and I'm participating in a vital role. So this is important for us to feel this, and this is stories that we can tell after getting old.
Right. We will get back to this point actually, but right after this short break.
الدولة الوحيدة اللي واقفة على حيلها انتم. قد يكون في أخطاء، قلت لكم المشكلة كبيرة، والمشكلة دي أنا مش هقدر عليها لوحدي، لكن نقدر عليها كلنا. دوري عملته، بس دوركم انتوا دلوقتي. لما طلبتوني لقيتوني، ولم أبخل عليكم بحياتي. جه الدور عليكم وانتوا وعدتوني انكم هتقفوا جنبي. الإصلاح بياخد وقت طويل، ولازم نعترف ان ال6 سنين اللي فاتوا ان احنا دولة ظروفها صعبة. تحيا مصر مش بالكلام.
مفيش أي حل تاني غير إن احنا نشتغل.
إن شاء الله في 18 هسلمكم 1350 مشروع.
شايفة مستقبل أولادي، مستقبل أجيال كتيرة جاية في مصر.
نقدر نعمل أكتر من كده، نقدر نجتهد، نقدر نعمل حاجات كتير في أرضنا.
ما تتخلوش عن بالكم، أنا اخترت الطريق الصعب. أنتوا اللي هتحددوا مصير مستقبل مصر بقوة شبابها.
Welcome back. Back to you once again. I would like you to comment, of course, once again about the declaration 2016 being the year of the youth. How do you see this and how do you see its impact on the youth? What do you think were the outcomes of this declaration?
All right. If we looked at the demographics of Egypt, we'd see that the Egyptian youth represent 23% or more of the Egyptian population. And I believe that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi knew this very well, and that's why he started solid initiatives to include the youth in the political life, social life, and to empower them. Because, of course, we need youth in the key positions in Egypt. We need to empower them. Maybe the Egyptian education that once brought to Egypt people like Naguib Mahfouz, Dr. Ahmed Zouail, and so on and so forth. Maybe nowadays youth need to be more equipped with what it takes to compete in the marketing and to raise Egypt's name high in international communities.
Right. Minna, what are the changes that happened to support Egyptian youth throughout this year, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the most important thing is to apply the promises of the conferences. Like, it's not only conversation between the president and the youth. It's promises that have been applied, and this makes that credible. Like, we're not only travel to talk and to share the ideas. No, we've been promised to do several things, and it was applied.
Right. Christine, if you would analyze the steps taken by the country to support its youth, what would be the point that you would want to talk about and explain its importance?
First, it's quite clear how the president sees the future for Egypt. There are some solid initiatives taken, like the Knowledge Bank, and it is one of the biggest knowledge databases in the world. I checked it myself, and it includes knowledge for all fields, for all ages, since kindergarten to scholars. Also, the PLP initiative is one of the most important initiatives taken recently by the presidency. And as we said, it equips youth with what it takes to help boost Egypt's economy, Egypt's social life, Egypt's political status. And I touched this personally with the youth that I saw in the first National Youth Conference, and I asked them personally, I asked the students of the first or the alumni of the first batch of the PLP, to what extent you got the benefit from this program. Actually, they all encouraged me to apply to this, and I did recently after my graduation. Of course, the National Youth Conference, the monthly youth conferences are like the cherries on the top of the cake. We saw the first National Youth Conference and its recommendations. It touched really sensitive issues in the Egyptian society nowadays: education, amendments on the law of demonstration, and the detainees who didn't stand for trial. And we quote the claps and the praises on those recommendations, and the regular monthly conferences. Of course, there was a conference held held this month, and they act as a follow-up procedure to check the execution of the recommendations given in the first National Youth Conference.
Right. Minna, what's the importance of media in general and journalism in particular to support such an important declaration like the 2016 declaration?
Well, I think I need the media persons to stop giving us their opinion and stop, making spots on the positive things more, not with the biased vision. No, we actually have positive things that we need to spot more on, and we need to listen less to the opinions that makes, no sugar, there is a shortage of the sugar and so on. So we need to neglect those things. Also, doesn't need to focus on, transforming information only that happened, and the president was clear about 1, 2, 3, and he actually applied those promises. We need to be honest that actually the promises was applied.
Right. Christine, education is one of the very important files that the country has to deal with. How do you think this should be approached, in your opinion, as a new graduate of mass communication? What's your opinion? How can the country deal with this very important files?
First of all, education in Egypt should be should witness either reform or transformation. So we can start with very important yet simple steps. We have to encourage critical thinking in our schools. We have to encourage students to ask why and to express in their own way, express and speak.
Express themselves rather than being just receivers.
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
Actually, I have a solid experience in this that I would like to share with you. In preparatory school, I asked my Arabic teacher, can I rephrase the answer found in the textbook in my own language? He told me no, the ministry wants what's written exactly in the book. On the other hand,
So you just have to memorize and put what you have memorized on paper.
exactly, and because I always seek excellence in my academics, so I heeded to what he said. On the other side, my English teacher always told us, you can rephrase the novel that you study in your own language. And she would invite us to stand beside her in front of the class, and she told us, okay, now you look into the eyes of your colleagues and you rephrase the novel in your own language, and you can also put your own commentaries on why the writer put the plots in this way. So this left a positive impact in my life even after that. I could stand and
give a presentation. You
Exactly.
learned how to give a presentation and to face the community, to face people around you. It's a good experience.
Exactly.
Actually, yeah.
So,
so we need more interaction in schools.
we need more interaction. We need to encourage critical thinking. We need our children to ask why and how, and we need to make it more interesting for them, not just answering the what question, but the how question. We have to discuss the application of what they study, not just giving solid facts. Also, we need to focus in the basic education on teaching children morals, on teaching children material that would increase the sense of belonging to Egypt, and this is what is actually being used in China. The basic education focuses on morals and abstract values. There is no even exams in the basic or primary stage, and we can start here. Maybe Dr. Wasim Sisi in the first National Youth Conference gave us a suggestion. We have to make history light and simple and near to the students. They have to admire our history first, then love it, then they would generate sense of belonging. This is very important for the future of Egypt, because if I feel that I belong to my own country, I would like to work for her. I would like to work for the development of my country. Last but not least, we can or we have to focus on the technical education, because in a country like Germany, 70% of its economy depends on the technical education, not the university education. So this is very important, and especially because our president wants more movements in the industry in special.
Right. I would also like to move to another point with you, Menna, which is journalism. And journalism had a pretty strong setback after the internet invasion and the strong introduction, of course, of social media. Do you think this is true, or and not only true, but I would also like you to tell me how is the impact of the social media on the youth in comparison to journalism, printed journalism, and TV journalism?
Okay, there is no doubt that print journalism facing a serious problem. But, you know, to prove that it's still going on, the New York Times actually launched an infographic that says that its sales is keeping increasing, but it's not decreasing. Yeah. And as people, we don't depend mainly on technology. Youth actually depends on technology, but we still have categories that take
the older categories of the societies, right? Middle age and older.
The old category.
But for the youth, I think they depend mainly on the internet and social media.
But it's not credible as a print. So if they found themselves in a bad situation and they need to get the accurate information, they will get back to the newspaper. So it can't be, you know, end.
The credibility of the
professional.
social media is not really, I mean, you have to track your source.
And it actually, the social media recently caused many crises. It caused many, and it pushed the country toward the social media has the power to push the whole country toward one direction. So I think that the country need to focus more on the social media and need to make alternative channels that attract the youth, so that we won't let the youth victims to the social media. So we have to make them channels that attract them and to be credible, to focus on the positive things, to, you know, I'm not saying that the media should neglect crisis, but the media actually makes spots on crisis, but it don't offer, you know, solutions. So this is not the good way to present a crisis without a solution. This is not our rule. We need to find the solution. We need to find the sources to give us a solution. But only focuses on crisis is not healthy at all.
Right. Before we wrap it up, I would like you to tell me your good memories in 2016 and what are your dreams for the future and for the upcoming new year 2017.
So maybe for me, being ranked first on 2016 class was the cherry of 2016. Being invited to the first National Youth Conference and the first monthly youth conference held by the President, and being face to face with the session makers, discussing freely and expressing our opinions, presenting even research papers. In those conferences, I saw the Egypt that I dream of. I saw a high degree of professionalism. Everybody is knowing what the role, everything was very well organized. We discussed freely, and we were like surgeons or doctors examining Egypt's body. So it was very good experience for me. And for the future, I believe Egypt going on this track will excel, will act on a higher ranks on the international scale. Egypt is fighting all sorts of extremism. We believe we'll do better in the future.
Of course, looking forward, of course,
Exactly.
to this. Minna, we have just half a minute.
Okay, my good memories was traveling abroad with youth from all over the world, and I found out that we're not the only people who have problems. Like, there are problems around the world, but we are focusing on them in an unhealthy way. My second good memory, working at the journalism was my major, so that was lucky me.
That you're working in your major of study, of course.
This is a rare thing to happen, and my wish to the future is that this happens. Every person, every youth works with his major,
his own field of
his
study.
major.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm dreaming of a country that we love, that we don't feel that we're going to be successful outside it. Like,
Right.
I want the youth to believe that, you know, we can be
Stay there,
to stay
in their
and
country.
we can be successful here.
Right. Christine Skandar and Minna Khalaf, many thanks for joining us, and all our best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
this
us.
opportunity.
Thank you. Dear viewers, with this we wrap up this edition of Today's Youth. Don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, have a pleasant time.